If you're applying to second-chance employers in Washington, D.C., and still not getting hired, this might be why. Most people misunderstand what second-chance hiring actually means in D.C. And make sure you stay until the end, because the biggest mistake people make with second-chance jobs here isn't the record. It's how they navigate federal, city, and contractor systems. Let's clear it up. A second-chance employer is not a guarantee. It's a possibility. And in Washington, D.C., where federal agencies, city government, nonprofits, and contractors dominate hiring, how you apply often matters more than where you apply. Today, we're walking through Washington, D.C.'s specific employers, systems, and job pathways that are commonly associated with second-chance hiring, and what that actually looks like in practice. You'll find supporting resources linked in the description. Before we get into the list, one clarification. Second-chance employer does not mean automatic hiring, skipping background checks, or the same outcome for everyone. It usually means applications reviewed case by case, criminal history considered later in the process, decisions based on the role, setting, and level of supervision. This video is about realistic pathways, not false promises. One thing to keep in mind as we go through this: opportunities in D.C. vary by neighborhood and quadrant. Northeast, especially Ivy City and the industrial areas, has more warehouse and distribution work. Southeast, including Anacostia and Congress Heights, has healthcare, construction, and emerging development. Southwest and the Navy Yard have heavy hospitality and new development. Northwest, from downtown to Georgetown, has more institutional, hospitality, and property management work. Where you are and where you're willing to commute shapes what's realistic. Keep that in mind as we go. Here's something critical to understand about Washington, D.C. D.C. has one of the strongest fair criminal record screening laws in the country. For many private employers, criminal history questions are delayed until after a conditional offer. That doesn't guarantee a job, but it significantly changes when and how the conversation happens. D.C. also allows record sealing under certain conditions, depending on the offense and time passed. At the same time, D.C.'s job market is unique. Many roles are federal, with strict clearance rules. Many others are contractor-based nonprofits, and universities play a major role. Understanding which system you're applying into is essential. And if you're not already connected to D.C. American Job Centers, they work with city agencies, contractors, healthcare and facilities, employers, re-entry-focused partners. These are tools, not shortcuts. But in D.C., they matter. Here's the part most people don't realize. In Washington, D.C., many people don't get rejected because of their record. They get filtered out because they apply to the wrong type of employer for their background. Applying blindly to federal roles when you're not eligible burns time and confidence. Second-chance hiring works best here when it's strategic, not hopeful. So, what does intentional actually mean in Washington, D.C.? It means knowing whether a role is federal, city, contractor, or nonprofit understanding. Which jobs require security clearances, and which do not, having documents ready before you apply using workforce and referral systems instead of mass applications. Workforce partners don't hand out jobs. They help people navigate complex systems and match effort to reality. And case by case from the employer's side, that means someone's reading your application and weighing the role, the offense, and how long ago it happened. Give them something to work with. Preparation beats volume every time, especially in D.C. And as we go through these pathways, pay attention, because some of the most overlooked opportunities in D.C. are not federal at all. Let's start with the pathway most people don't expect to hear first, and the one that's often misunderstood. Number 1. Washington, D.C. employs tens of thousands of workers, but many roles are filled through contracted service providers, not direct government hires. These pathways include custodial and building services, sanitation and public works support, park and recreation maintenance, facilities and operations roles. These jobs exist across the city, from the National Mall and downtown to neighborhood parks in Southeast and Northeast. Hiring is structured, role-specific, and delayed background by law. These pathways are often overlooked, which is exactly why they surprise people. Number 2. DC has a dense network of workforce and re-entry organizations, with American job centers and community partners across the city. They help with job readiness, employer referrals, placement into existing roles. They don't guarantee jobs, but they reduce wasted effort in a very competitive market. Number 3. DC has a large healthcare presence spread across the city. MedStar operates Washington Hospital Center in Northwest and Georgetown University Hospital. Howard University Hospital serves the Shaw and LaDroit Park areas. George Washington University Hospital is in Foggy Bottom. Children's National is in Northwest, near Catholic University. And there's United Medical Center serving Southeast. That creates opportunity and support roles like environmental services, food service, patient transport, facilities support, laundry and materials handling. Many of these roles are filled through contractors, but they provide structure, steady hours, and long-term pathways. If you've been applying and hearing nothing back in Washington, D.C., that doesn't mean you're unemployable. Most of the time, it means the system is complex and layered without clear guidance. That's a systems issue, not a personal failure. Number 4. While D.C. itself is small, logistics work exists both in the city and just outside it. In Northeast, especially the Ivy City and New York Avenue corridor, you'll find warehousing, distribution, and light industrial work. Just outside the city, in Prince George's County, and along the I-95 corridor, there are larger distribution centers and fulfillment operations. These roles include warehousing and distribution, fulfillment and inventory, supply chain support. They're commonly filled through contractors and staffing agencies, and many locations are accessible by metro or bus. Number 5. DC's dense commercial and residential buildings create constant demand for maintenance, janitorial, groundskeeping, building operations support. This is true across the city, from high-rises downtown and in Noma to residential buildings in Columbia Heights, Petworth, and across Southeast. These roles are often reviewed individually and offer consistent hours and stability. Number 6. Washington, D.C. has one of the largest nonprofit sectors in the country, concentrated in Northwest, but spread across every quadrant. These organizations rely on staff for facilities and operations, program support, food service, and custodial roles. Many nonprofit employers use fair chance hiring practices and work closely with workforce partners. Number 7. D.C. has a major higher education presence, and it's spread across the city. Georgetown is in Northwest near the waterfront. George Washington is in Foggy Bottom. Howard University is in the Shaw and LaDroit Park area. American University and Catholic University are in Upper Northwest. UDC has campuses in Northwest and Northeast. These institutions need support staff for facilities and grounds, dining services, custodial and housekeeping, campus logistics, and mailroom. Many of these roles are filled through contractors, but they offer structure, steady schedules, and stability. Number 8. DC is a major tourism and convention destination, which means constant demand for hospitality workers. Downtown and Penn Quarter have the heaviest concentration of hotels and event venues. The Wharf and Navy Yard in Southwest have newer hospitality development. Georgetown has restaurants and hotels tied to tourism and the university. Capitol Hill has a steady restaurant and catering scene. Hotels, restaurants, and event venues rely on kitchen support, food service workers, custodial and service staff. These roles prioritize reliability and attendance and often provide entry-level access with room to grow. Number 9. Infrastructure and construction projects across DC create demand for general labor, site cleanup, materials handling, trade support roles. There's active construction across the city, from Noma and the H Street corridor to Navy Yard to the St. Elizabeth's campus in Southeast. Hiring varies by contractor, but these roles are commonly referenced as re-entry-friendly entry points. Number 10. Here's one most people don't think about. WMATA, the agency that runs Metro Rail and Metro Bus, is one of the largest employers in the DC region. Metro has stations across every quadrant of the city, and bus depots in Northeast, Southeast, and Northwest. That creates opportunity in station cleaning and maintenance, facilities support, bus and rail yard operations, construction and infrastructure support. Many of these roles are filled through contractors, but they offer steady hours, structure, and potential for advancement. This is exactly why staying until the end matters. Most people never hear about pathways like this. Second chance hiring in Washington, D.C. is rarely about one employer saying yes. It's about preparation, timing, system navigation, applying strategically. A list alone doesn't create outcomes, but understanding pathways does. Felon-friendly jobs now exists to organize this information clearly, so people with records don't waste time applying blindly. We focus on clarity, not hype. If you're looking for Washington, D.C. specific job pathways, preparation guidance, and second chance resources, the link is in the description. Before I close, here's what you can do tomorrow in Washington, D.C. No money, no special access required. First, identify one workforce partner to contact. D.C. American Job Center, Project Empowerment, or the D.C. Department of Employment Services. Just one. Make the call. Second, write out your work history timeline, even if there are gaps, especially if there are gaps. Know your story before someone asks. Third, research one employer or contractor before you apply, not 10. 1. Know what they do, what the role involves, and why you're a fit. Small steps. Focused energy. That's how this works, even in DC. Earlier, I mentioned the biggest mistake people make after learning about second chance jobs in Washington, D.C. It's not the record. It's applying without understanding which system you're entering, and burning out before opportunity has time to work. Second chance hiring isn't about guarantees. It's about access to opportunity and knowing how to approach it. If this video helped you focus your energy more clearly, share it with someone looking for work in Washington, D.C. Clear information leads to better outcomes.